So we've gone over the ins and outs of rapid spanning tree, and we've talked about how it is just ever so much better than regular spanning tree. And now we're going to prove it. We're going to put it in the lab. We're going to run the same convergence test that we did before, and we're going to see that rapid spanning tree is indeed actually rapid. Now for this lab, I have shut down all of the ports on my VLAN breakout switch, simply because this switch is so old it does not support rapid spanning tree, and I did not want it to affect our lab in any way. But we still have two switches that support rapid spanning tree, and they're the roots of all of the VLANs, so everything's still good. So the first thing we'll do is we will look at the spanning tree on this guy. First off, we'll do show spanning tree, and we'll see that the spanning tree protocol is still IEEE. That's the 802.1d, the old, slow spanning tree. We happen to be on the 2960, which actually is the root of VLAN 1. So for 1 and 30, all of the ports are forwarded because they're on the root bridge, obviously. For 40 and 50, obviously we have one that's blocking because we have that redundant link between the two switches. So I'm going to type the ever so complex command that turns on rapid spanning tree. So we go into config T. That was sarcasm in case you didn't pick up on it. We do spanning tree mode, and we can choose MST, which we'll talk about here in just a little bit. We also have PVST, which is per VLAN spanning tree mode. We have rapid PVST, which is rapid per VLAN spanning tree mode. In this case, we're going to switch to rapid, so we'll do rapid PVST. And in order for it to actually work the best, we'll have to do it on both switches. Because obviously, if one switch is still running the older STP algorithm, then it's going to wait that 20 seconds until it realizes, hey, this bridge has gone down and I need to reconverge the network. So we'll do spanning tree mode rapid. We go back to our 2960 now and we do show spanning tree. We see that our protocol is now RSTP, or Rapid Spanning Tree Protocol. And all of our ports are designated now because rapid spanning tree is still reconverging, because I just reconfigured it over here on this 2950. So if we do that now, we see that they're all forwarding. They're not in a learning state anymore. Now, obviously, this guy is forwarding on all of his ports, but it's blocked on the other end. If we do show spanning tree for VLAN 1, which is the one we're concerned about, you see that this Fast Ethernet 048 is an alternate port and it's blocking. So essentially the 2960 is sending traffic out on Fast Ethernet 048, but the other end of that link is not receiving it. And that's just spanning tree doing what spanning tree does. It prevents loops in the network, because without that alternate port role and without it blocking one end of this link, the packets would just go back and forth between the two switches and they'd never die, and then smoke would come out of the back and one of the switches would melt, and it's just a huge mess. Not really, but you get the idea. It would be a bad thing to happen on your network. So now that we've got rapid spanning tree running, I'm going to go on the 2960 and I'm going to debug spanning tree events. Because when I run these tests, unless you actually see that spanning tree is reconverging on one of these switches, you won't believe that anything actually happened, because we don't ever drop any packets. And I'll prove that here in just a bit. So we'll do debug spanning tree events. That's not too chatty. And it only gives us debug information when something happens with spanning tree. And now we'll run this ping command again. So there we are. We're pinging, we're pinging, we're pinging. I'm going to do the same thing I did when I was testing the regular 802.1d spanning tree. I'm going to go on the 2950, and I'm going to shut down this Fast Ethernet 047, which is the root port for VLAN 1. So config T, interface Fast Ethernet 0/47. We'll shut that port down. It's down, and you'll notice that in this case we have yet to actually drop a packet on this guy over here. Our pings did not drop at all. Because we had that alternate port there, spanning tree realized this interface is going down. Update roles, root port Fast Ethernet 47 going down. Fast Ethernet 48 is now the root port. You see, it happened so quickly that the debug logger here didn't even have time to increment the milliseconds over here. It was just that quickly. It realized one's going down, so I'm going to use this alternate. And again, we'll unblock this port on this end. We'll do no shut. We'll see the roles flip back as soon as the Fast Ethernet comes back up. See, there it is. It's now initializing. It's transmitting a proposal. It switched the root port back to Fast Ethernet 048. we never dropped a packet over here on our ping. So as you can see, we've pretty much objectively proven that rapid spanning tree protocol is vastly superior to non-rapid spanning tree. So we'll go over here and stop this ping for now. And that's pretty much it. It's that one single command that you use to enable rapid spanning tree. And so long as you do it on all of your switches, you'll get the benefit of rapid spanning tree throughout your entire network. Now, obviously, when you turn this on, there will be some downtime while spanning tree reconverges. So obviously, this is something you would want to do during a maintenance window. And that concludes our discussion of implementing rapid spanning tree.